Have you ever had that gut feeling that there's more to life than what meets the eye? That first awakening, like pulling back the curtain on a whole new world you never even knew was out there. You started to shake off the weight of the ego, hit pause on autopilot, and really start living, consciously, fully, like you were actually awake for the first time. But here's the thing. That's just the beginning. The second awakening? It's like getting hit with a lightning bolt of light, where suddenly every thought, every feeling, every action is intense, like you're seeing everything in Technicolor. You start to realize how much of your life was spent on cruise control, just going through the motions, letting habits and routines steer the ship. But now, every moment feels like a chance to make it count, to truly shine. You meet people, not just on the surface, but on a deeper level. You listen with your heart and see them with fresh eyes. It's like your whole life is going from old-school black and white TV to some high-def 4K masterpiece. This isn't just a mental shift. It's like shedding an old skin. You're changing, growing, like a butterfly breaking free from its cocoon. The decisions you make now, they aren't just decisions. They're like an artist's brushstrokes, filled with purpose and power. You're not just sitting back and watching your life unfold anymore. You're out there, creating it, molding it with your own hands, like a sculptor working on a masterpiece. It's like you've leveled up, moving into a new dimension, where everything feels richer, deeper, more real. The first sign of this second awakening? You start to feel your own energy. You realize that every thought, every feeling, every action is sending out waves into the universe, shaping everything around you. Picture this. You're no longer trying to control every little thing. You're just being, letting life unfold, with ease, moving with the flow, not against it. Your morning routine? It's no longer just a checklist. It's a sacred ritual, like a magician casting spells. Each action infused with purpose and intention. Making coffee becomes a chance to manifest, a simple moment turned into a powerful tool to create the life you desire. And then, the magic happens. Your world starts shifting. People show up in your life, opportunities that vibe with your new frequency. Abundance flows toward you, not because you're chasing it, but because your energy is magnetizing it. Your reality is like a mirror, reflecting all the good stuff you've been cultivating inside. Every moment becomes an opportunity to be who you truly are, to live your best life. Your life starts to sound like a symphony, each note vibrating with abundance and harmony, drawing everything you need into your world like a magnet. It's like you're living in a world where your inner state has the power to shape everything around you, with perfect precision. The second sign? You realize that attracting better things in life isn't about thinking harder. It's about raising your vibration. You've been trained to overthink, to plan and analyze every little detail, believing that more thought equals more success. But the real awakening happens when you stop thinking so much and start feeling. You start to embody the frequency you want to attract. Think about your everyday interactions. No more overthinking every conversation. You move through your day with a quiet confidence, like you're plugged into some invisible current of power that makes people take notice. You're not just in the room, you're leading it without saying a word. New insights drop into your mind, like rays of sunlight breaking through the clouds. You start to see that your worth isn't tied to all that mental noise. It's in the purity of your energy. Your relationships? They're evolving. You're drawing people to you who resonate with the higher vibes you're putting out. Opportunities come knocking without you having to chase them, like the universe is already aligning with your frequency. Your days start to feel like a string of perfect coincidences, where everything seems to click into place. It's like the universe is showing up to say, "Yep, you've got this." And that, my friend, is the magic of your second awakening. The third sign of your second awakening? Oh, it's like you've been handed a new pair of glasses. Your whole view of reality gets a serious upgrade. Suddenly, everything pops. and the ordinary becomes extraordinary. You'll start to notice things you never saw before, like the world's been given a high-def makeover. Take a sunset, for instance. Instead of just watching the light slip away, you'll feel the entire sky singing to you, a mix of colors that make your heart skip a beat. Or maybe it's a walk in the park, and you're suddenly mesmerized by the intricate veins of a leaf, as though it's telling you secrets of the universe, each one more mind-blowing than the last. What used to be simple moments now feel like divine revelations, grounding you right here in the now. It's like every single thing you look at has something to say. Every second seems to hum with hidden meaning. This isn't just about seeing things more clearly, though. It's like you're feeling the world more deeply, too. You can taste the air, hear the whispers of the trees, and every little detail feels alive, as if you're tuning into the heart of existence itself. Remember Arjuna in the Bhagavad Gita? When he has that divine vision of Krishna in his universal form? Talk about a wake-up call. In the middle of that epic battle, Krishna shows Arjuna his infinite cosmic form, revealing the boundless nature of the universe and the sacred interconnection of all things. That moment shatters Arjuna's narrow view of the world, giving him eyes to see the divine in everything, giving him the power to see beyond the surface. It's like he got a spiritual superpower, unlocking a clearer, more powerful vision of life. It's this deep shift that gives Arjuna the courage and insight to fulfill his duty, to see his purpose in the grand scheme of existence. Imagine that for yourself. A vision so clear, so expansive, that your view of reality changes completely, filling every corner of your life with fresh meaning. That's the magic of your second awakening. Suddenly, the world is alive with infinite possibility, and you're seeing it all with brand new eyes. Now, the fourth sign? It's a tricky one. It's like the moment when the spiritual ego tries to sneak into the picture. This new ego doesn't look the same as the old one. It's dressed up in wisdom and self-realization. It starts whispering in your ear, puffing up your chest with thoughts of enlightenment, convincing you that you're somehow above others now. It might sound like, "Hey, look how far you've come. You're ahead of the game. You've got this whole spiritual thing figured out, right?" That's when you've got to stop and check yourself. Spiritual growth is sneaky. It can disguise itself as ego if you're not careful. You might catch yourself judging others, thinking they're not as awake as you are, comparing your journey to theirs. That's the moment when you have to call it out. Recognizing this is the first step. You'll learn that true growth isn't about being better than others. It's about loving and accepting everyone, no matter where they are on their path. It's about dropping the idea of being higher or more evolved, and just embracing the beauty of connection and compassion. This is where the real magic happens. You start to shed that spiritual ego like a snake shedding its skin. You let go of the need for comparison, for judgment, and you embrace the simplicity and humility of true enlightenment. Your actions shift. You become more genuine, more compassionate in your relationships, and your spiritual practice becomes more grounded. It's like a quiet, graceful transformation, integrating what you've learned and leaving behind anything that no longer serves your growth. The spiritual ego, disguised as wisdom, melts away, and in its place, there's a deeper, truer sense of connection with everyone and everything around you. It's the kind of change that feels gentle, but it's powerful enough to completely shift the course of your spiritual journey. A big telltale sign of your second awakening, number 5 on the list, is that moment when you realize life isn't about having or doing anymore. Society loves to push the idea that success equals a long to-do list and a bank account that never stops growing, right? More, more, more. The problem? It's exhausting and, let's be real, kinda hollow. After a while, you start waking up to the truth. Real satisfaction isn't about what you can get or do, but just about being present, just existing. It's a total game changer. Think about it. You've probably spent so much time running from one task to another, chasing after goals that don't even bring the joy you thought they would. The hustle culture starts to lose its luster. What really fills you now isn't a packed schedule or a bigger paycheck, but the quiet power of just being in the moment. Instead of stressing over what's next, you start savoring those little pockets of stillness in your day. Those moments when you can just breathe, connect, and be. Inspiration hits, and you're not hunting for it. It just flows through you, effortlessly. The key isn't holding on tight to control, but relaxing into the present, letting the divine energy flow like a gentle river. That's when everything shifts. Your relationships, your work, your life. They all become more genuine, more joyful, because you're no longer just doing for the sake of doing. You're living in a way that feels true to who you really are. And when you make that transition from having and doing to being, you're letting go of society's grip. You step out from under the weight of what's expected of you, and suddenly, life is about experiencing the deep peace that comes from just existing. This is where the magic happens, living in harmony with the universe. It's not just a dream anymore, it's your reality. Then, we hit the 6th sign of your second awakening. Spontaneous emotional releases. You might find yourself laughing, crying, or feeling some wild emotions bubbling up out of nowhere. But trust me, these aren't random. They're huge signs that your healing journey is in full swing. Picture this. You hear an old song or walk past a place that's tied to a memory. Suddenly, tears start to flow, or laughter spills out without warning. It's like your soul is releasing what's been held inside for far too long, letting go of all that built-up energy, those old wounds, the unresolved stuff you've been carrying around. Your body's just letting go of the emotional weight that's been holding you down. It's like you're spring cleaning your soul, and each release brings a little more peace, a little more clarity. You're actively healing, unraveling the knots that have kept you stuck, and as you do, you make room for more joy, more freedom, more of you. And it's not always the big moments that trigger these emotional releases. Sometimes it's the little things, a conversation with a friend, a quiet moment alone, even washing dishes. Every time you let these emotions surface, it's like peeling back another layer of the past. It's cathartic, yes, but it's also deeply transformative, helping you step into a more authentic, lighter version of yourself. That's the power of emotional release in your second awakening. It's healing, it's freeing, and it's you taking control of your own journey. And then, we arrive at the 7th sign, the dissolution of old identities. You start noticing that the labels you once held so tightly to, the ones that defined who you thought you were, no longer fit. The roles you played in your work, family, or social circles, they start to feel, well, empty. It's like you've outgrown them, and you're finally stepping into something new. It's not just about changing what you do, it's about shifting who you are. You start shedding those old skins, like a snake leaving behind the past. You realize that who you are isn't defined by what you've done or what others expect you to be. It's more like a river, flowing and changing with each passing moment, constantly evolving, free from the weight of past identities and societal pressures. That freedom? It's everything. You're no longer tied down to who you were. You're embracing the fluid, authentic version of yourself. And with that, life gets easier. You begin to navigate it with grace, authenticity, and a sense of freedom that's truly yours. Think of Hypatia of Alexandria, a powerhouse of intellect who stood her ground, no matter the storm. Back in her day, women weren't exactly calling the shots in the world of academia. But there she was, holding it down in a male-dominated world, lighting up the fields of mathematics, astronomy, and philosophy like a supernova. She didn't just teach, she lived her passion. she wrote with fire, and people couldn't help but take notice. Even though her story took a tragic turn, her impact is like a ripple in the pond that just won't fade away. She's still shining her light, guiding the thinkers of today, showing us what it looks like to stay true to yourself even when the world is anything but kind. And just like Hypatia, you're standing at a crossroads. This is your moment, right? Here, to break free from old labels that have been weighing you down. You're not tied to the past anymore. You're like a butterfly slowly emerging from your cocoon, ready to spread your wings and let your true self shine. Each day, you wake up not as who you were yesterday, but as a new version of you, constantly evolving, growing, shedding those old skins. You're no longer stuck in a box, but flowing like a river, always changing, always expanding. This is the magic of letting go of old identities. This is the second awakening. Then, we move to the 8th sign, those moments of sudden clarity. Ever had one of those aha moments where the fog just lifts and everything falls into place? It's like lightning striking out of nowhere, illuminating your path in the blink of an eye. You start to trust your gut like never before, like you've got this internal compass that always points you in the right direction. You make decisions fast, without second guessing, and somehow, you always hit the mark. You hop on a spontaneous trip and boom, you're thrown into new experiences, meeting new people and gaining insights that change the course of your life in ways you never saw coming. In Yoruba mythology, there's Orunmila, the god of wisdom, and divination, who's all about guiding people through those exact moments. He doesn't just predict the future, he illuminates. It's showing you the way with crystal clear insight. You don't need to search for answers when Orunmila's around. They come to you, like whispers from the universe, revealing truths and opening doors that were once hidden. People turn to him for clarity, trusting that his guidance will take them exactly where they need to go. And that's exactly what's happening to you. These bursts of wisdom are like little gifts from the universe, guiding you with laser focus. It's like you're walking through life with a map, and the more you trust it, the clearer your path becomes. Your decisions aren't clouded by doubt anymore. You're acting with purpose, making choices that feel right deep in your bones. Every step you take feels divinely inspired, like the universe is unfolding in perfect harmony with your soul's journey. This, my friend, is what trusting your intuition looks like, and it's a game changer in your second awakening. Adanashi. Sign of your second awakening hits like a splash of cold water. You finally see through the material mirage. All those things you thought would bring you lasting happiness? Turns out, they were just glittering distractions. You start realizing that it's not the shiny new gadget or the latest trend that fills you up. It's the experiences, the people, and those moments that truly matter. Imagine this. Instead of splurging on something you don't need, you decide to put your money into something you will remember, a trip with loved ones. You're suddenly all about the deep, rich connections, not the fleeting buzz of a shopping spree. You start finding joy in the sound of laughter around a campfire, in those heart-to-heart talks on long drives, and in the bonds that grow stronger with each shared adventure. And you know what? This shift mirrors the story of Elijah and the widow of Zarephath, where everything seems like it's running on empty, except faith and generosity. Elijah, stuck in a tough spot, asks the widow for food when she's down to her last bite. She's got nothing, but she gives what little she has. And in return, her supplies never run dry. It's like a divine promise that no matter how scarce things might seem, trust and generosity open the door to blessings you couldn't have imagined. Kind of wild, right? As you start shedding the need for stuff, you open yourself up to the richness of spirit and connection. Your relationships go from surface level to soul deep. You begin to notice that the joy you once chased in things now flows effortlessly from within. You start living the life of someone who's realized the material mirage is just that, an illusion. Love, wisdom, and connection are the real treasures, the ones you'll hold on to, not the shiny things that come and go. Each moment is no longer about what you have, but how alive you feel, how present you are, how much deeper everything goes when you stop looking outside for happiness. And then there's the 10th sign, fully embracing the power of the present. Suddenly, everything becomes vivid. It's like you've been living in black and white, and someone just handed you the color wheel. Eating a meal isn't just eating anymore. It's a full-on experience. Each bite a burst of flavor, each taste a new discovery. Walking through nature is like stepping into a song, with the rustling leaves and the birds singing like a symphony, just for you. Even the breeze seems to whisper your name. Moments that you used to let slip by unnoticed now feel like treasures, filling you up with peace and a connection to everything around you. This shift in focus is nothing short of transformative. The past, gone, the future, doesn't matter. You're here now, and that's all that counts. You don't have time for regrets or anxieties anymore. You've let go of all that noise, and it's like your senses just got a major upgrade. You feel every moment more deeply, more intensely. Life's simple pleasures become profound, and you start to see that true power lies in the present, this moment, right here. And once you realize that, everything changes. Your life becomes a living testament to the beauty of simply being. The 11th sign of your second awakening is a real game changer. You discover your mission. You know that feeling when everything just clicks? When you suddenly get this deep sense of purpose that seems to flow through your veins, aligning perfectly with everything you care about? Yeah, that's it. It's not just a passing hobby or a nice idea, it's a calling straight from your soul. It's like something inside you finally wakes up and says, "Hey, this is why you're here." And you're ready to make an impact. Maybe it hits you out of the blue. You feel compelled to start something big, like an NGO to support a cause that lights you up. Or maybe you're writing a book to share all that wisdom you've been gathering over the years. These aren't just to-do list items. No, these are the echoes of your soul's mission, pushing you to make a difference and leave your mark on the world. And the world is waiting. Think about Rumi, the Persian poet and mystic. He didn't just write poems. He channeled divine inspiration, creating verses that still move and guide people today. His words are like an endless river, flowing and touching hearts, bringing people closer to their own spiritual truths. Rumi didn't just talk about love and faith, he lived it, and his legacy still shines bright, guiding seekers from all walks of life. That's the kind of energy you're tapping into. You're starting to feel like you're not just moving through life by accident anymore. You're being guided by something much bigger than yourself. Your talents, your passions, they're all coming together, forming this beautiful, unstoppable force that gives you clarity and direction. You'll find yourself charging forward with a new kind of energy, every step aligned with that greater mission. Suddenly, everything feels right. Your actions become sacred, your days full of meaning. This, my friend, is how your mission manifests, turning your life into a divine act of service. And then, the 12th sign hits, and it's all about compassion. You start feeling a deep connection to others, like you can sense their struggles and victories as if they were your own. It's like flipping a switch. Your heart just opens up, and with it, you're seeing the world through a whole new lens. You act with kindness and patience, even when things get tense. Picture this. A colleague is about to lose it in a meeting, but instead of snapping back, you stay calm and offer understanding. You recognize their frustration, and instead of adding to it, you help them find their footing. And guess what? The situation calms down, and you both walk away with a stronger connection. But it doesn't stop there. This growing compassion doesn't just stay within your circle, it expands. You start caring about people who you might have ignored before. Strangers, people in need, the ones on the margins, they're now part of your heart's journey. You'll find yourself volunteering at a local shelter, donating to causes that matter, or even just taking the time to really listen to someone who needs a kind word. You begin to see that you're not separate from anyone. You're all part of this bigger picture, and every act of kindness is like a thread in the great web of life. This, my friend, is what the second awakening is all about. Compassion, empathy, and the undeniable feeling that you're part of something so much bigger than yourself. With each day, you become a beacon of love and understanding, turning even the smallest interactions into moments of connection and creating a ripple effect that spreads far beyond what you could ever imagine. You've been on quite a ride, haven't you? Every step of your second awakening has been like the turning of a page in a book that's been waiting to be read. The old you? It's slowly melting away, like ice under the sun, making room for the new, vibrant you. And with each sign of this transformation, it's like someone turned the lights up, guiding you toward a life that feels richer, deeper, and way more fulfilling. You've had those moments where intuition hit you like a ton of bricks, making you feel connected to something bigger. You've seen through the mirage of materialism, realizing that true joy isn't something you can buy. And don't even get me started on the present moment. It's like this surge of energy, giving you power you never knew you had. Lately, you've also been tapping into this endless well of compassion and empathy within you. It's like a bottomless reservoir, always full, always ready to pour out warmth and kindness to others. And honestly, it's kind of beautiful to watch how it's shaping your relationships and interactions. People feel it. They notice the way you show up with an open heart. It's not just something you're thinking about. It's like a natural extension of who you are now. Each day, it's like a brand new canvas, ready for you to splash your colors on. And guess what? You're painting with a whole new set of brushes, ones that come from your heart and soul, not just your head. Every choice you make feels different now, doesn't it? It's no longer about what looks good on paper, but about what feels right, deep down. You're seeing the threads that connect everything, and it's like you've unlocked a whole new level of understanding. You're learning to value experiences and relationships over things. A sunset? That's pure magic now. A meaningful conversation. It's like treasure. You're starting to realize that what you're seeking has always been right there, waiting for you to notice. And all of this, every moment of it, is steering you toward a bigger purpose. It's like you've found a compass that points you in the direction of something greater, something meaningful, something that pushes you to make a real difference in the world. So yeah, let's go ahead and embrace this whole awakening journey. Each sign, each moment, it's a treasure map, leading you towards something incredible. This transformation isn't just a passing phase, it's your essence coming to life. Your path is clearer now, and trust me, it's only getting brighter from here. I really hope this message spoke to you. If it did, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with the people you care about. Your likes, comments, and shares mean the world. The more you engage, the further this message will reach. And hey, share your stories with us too. Your experience can be a light for someone else walking this same path. As we all move forward, just know that you're not alone in this. Together, we're all part of a bigger movement, one that's pushing toward greater consciousness and fulfillment. Until next time, my friend,